rich, regular, quality feedback. We all know that we need feedback to improve at what we do. We welcomed your feedback as parents about home learning experiences for Term 2, and we made changes for Term 3 as part of flexible learning. Feedback works both ways. I've received feedback from my staff, and as a result, I've invited our DP, Liz Hills, to share with you some tips and ways to support you to enable your children to become independent and resilient learners during flexible learning.
Hello to all our wonderful parents. We are amazed and in awe of the work that you're doing, juggling all the demands of parenting and working and supervising and assisting with work tasks, and we really appreciate it's no easy feat. So we'd like to offer these tips for parents of students in Prep to 2. It might make your role a little bit easier, and it will make our role a little bit more effective also. So I guess the main one is, while your child is working, to allow them to do the work. We're not looking for perfect examples, rather authentic examples of the children's work. We don't want our learners to think that their best attempt can then be fixed up by a parent or someone else. We know that their best is all that we can ask of them, so whatever they present to us is fine in the form that it's in. Spelling errors, mistakes and all. Sometimes parents correct written work, and we do appreciate that, but it's really important that we see the original work that the student has produced. So if a sentence has been written underneath by you, please leave the original there so the teacher can see at what point that student is at with their writing and their spelling particularly. So if you upload it, if you could upload the original as well, the work that the student did, that would be very helpful. It's also not particularly helpful to have a parent feeding their child the answers. We love that you're sitting with them at Zoom time, and although that's not always an opportunity for all parents, if you are sitting there, it's a great time for you to learn what the children are doing at school and how they might operate at school, but feeding them answers in the background is probably not helpful to the child. And it's quite likely that the teacher has strategically chosen a prompt question to get a particular response. So it may even be an incorrect response, but that will point the teacher in the right direction in terms of future learning. So while we love that you're sitting there and encouraging, if you can leave the learning aspect, the responding and the writing and the reading to the child, that'll give us a better idea of where to go to next. So we want the work that they do to reflect what they might do in the classroom setting. So of course you're not there in the classroom setting. They do work very independently. They work with teacher support. Most of the work they do then inspires the next learning activity. So the teachers are really good at gaining information from the work presented. So we want that again to be as authentic as possible, and we want our students to be risk takers. We want them to know that their attempt is really valued. It doesn't have to be perfect. We want them to have a go. We've introduced them to that growth mindset, and it's really important that we continue that in this time of home learning as well. And we thank you for your support with all of that. Thank you.
Thank you again for your continued support in rising to the challenge of juggling work at home demands with young families and flexible learning as well. We will get through this in partnership. We have the best interests of your children at heart, and together with our talented staff, we will enable your children to flourish with their learning.